Hi everyone, Martin McGregor here, satanic author, presenter, and organizer. I outline in one of my chapters a zoetic prescription that I performed in August of 2024. It translates to unlimited opportunities for prosperity through rich abundance. Uko Izozo. After performing this magical rite, I was immediately called to New York City through a work connection and spent the next entire week, 8 or 9 days, being wined and dined and basically having rich abundance just shoved at me the entire time. Along with the manifestation of that magic, like most magic, there came a cost. At a certain point in that trip, if I wanted to continue that manifestation, if I wanted things to keep happening the way they were, it was going to cause me pain, literally with every bite. And that's exactly what I did. And so the chapter that I'm going to read an excerpt from is called Uko Izozo, the cost of prosperity and abundance. My experience in New York cemented for me that the prescription had worked and provided me with a lot of insight into social interaction and magic. Most important among these insights was the reaffirmation that magic comes at a cost, both the operation of magic and the acceptance of its benefits. For my prosperity to manifest through unlimited rich abundance, it would have had to almost always come the way it did. A New York relationship with a related employer who has habitualized rich abundance was the only route that kind of prosperity could have manifested itself in my life. When it began to do so, I had to pay several costs. First and foremost, I had to be willing to become a sponge and soak up whatever bounty was offered, which is highly contrary to my regular nature. I'm not one who generally takes more than I need, which I had to forego for the magic to manifest fully. At one point in the trip, I bit down wrong. I suffered a gum injury. And so for the rest of my time there, if I was going to capitulate to the source of unlimited rich abundance and continue to say yes to anything offered, it meant biting into myself with each morsel of food. Blood mixed with saliva and tainted the flavor of my food. Near the end of the trip, the cut grew wide and deepened into something pretty formidable. My appetite shrunk, and yet I refused to allow myself to say no, to divert the streams of manifestation flowing my way. Walking and feasting beside a hawk for over a week came with another cost. It is quite easy to empathize with the sparrow's plight, especially after having called many of them friends. However, a predator does not concern itself with the plight of creatures below its station, and every social interaction became an exercise to see whether the sparrows in our path would seek to appease the danger or run from it. Those who tried to resist it were quickly reminded why they were sparrows and not hawks. Being an observer of the process and a beneficiary of the results showed me how both affinities may be effectively employed depending on the social circumstance. I was reminded that every social interaction was a product of will contention, and many of those we encountered had none of their own. It was often when those we encountered could not veer away from the path set down from above them that things got the ugliest. Ambition is not a sin. It separates a hierarchy of wills. When ambition, even to interact in a genuine way, is missing, it is but a shell of a human that is being encountered. Lastly, I learned that when you truly want to receive prosperity, you must be actively desirous of more than you need. A humble or reserved nature will serve nothing and may impede what progress could be made. Being satisfied must no longer be satisfying. The desire for more must be present in all things. While this may sound easy, truly walking that tightrope without succumbing to boredom, fatigue, or greed can be difficult. Magic will work the way it can, and regardless of what it manifests, you must be willing and able to pay the cost and toll of striding down that path. Returning home after my trip to New York felt like a vacation, and I needed one. My body and spirit were taxed beyond measure, but my mind was racing with the new insights I had received. Soon I settled back at home, but it took my mouth considerably longer than I had expected to heal. And it was only after many meetings with my co-workers and Abby peers that my spirit finally began to relax. The cost of the magic I had brought to bear was considerable, but at the same time, the boons from its effects showed me no signs of stopping. In the aftermath, I devised ways of mitigating some of these costs through my relationships with several fallen angels. By resurrecting their flesh and wearing it as your own, you may leave your impact upon others and the world while allowing the bodies of the fallen to be damaged and destroyed in lieu of your own. Step into their skin, or let them into yours, and no longer bear that cost alone. Become Nephilim, a giant among men who is unabashed and capable of feats prescribed only to gods. Again, I'm Martin McGregor, co-author on the Social Engineering Magic Spellbook from Become a Living God. You can get your copy at balg.co/socialmagic. And if you'd like to actually reap some of the benefits of that Zoetic prescription of Uko Aizozo, those that sign up for our group rite for this book, that is what EA and I are going to be doing for our group ritual, is a combined Zoetic working for the prescription of unlimited opportunity for prosperity through rich abundance. Be sure to sign up if you're interested. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.